Let's take a few moments now and talk about formatting the text and the cells in a table here in Keynote. Now, again, these are some generic things that you can do or things you can do to any table that you make. And for the purposes of this video, we're going to use this table as an example. So I'm trying to get to this point here eventually through these series of tutorials with some basics dealing with tables. So this is what I'm trying to get to. So we're going to kind of keep that in mind. So here's where I've left off. I've created a table, put some data in there, but we need to do some things to I want to do some things to the text and to the cells to kind of make things stand out a little bit. So first thing I'm going to talk about is some options when formatting text. Now, the one thing we need to understand here is that we can highlight just one cell and change the information in there or change the way the text in the cell looks, or we can highlight multiple cells, and we can do that by kind of clicking, holding, and dragging this and selecting the cells that we desire to change, or we can click on one cell, hold down Shift, and then click the other cell on the opposite side of the area, and it'll highlight them all as well. Pretty easy to do. Now let's talk about some different things we can control when it comes to text. We've talked about size already. We can change the size of text. But what we can also do is we can change alignment. In this case, let's say we don't want it in the middle like this. Looks okay for middle over here and up here, or center, I should say center aligned, if you will, over here and here. But here I'd like to change it. So I'm going to change it. I highlighted these cells already, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the alignment tool up here and make it left aligned. I just like the way that lays out a little bit better. I can also change the size of the font. We know that already from earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and just select all three of these. I'm just going to change the font size slightly to 32. Okay. I can also change the font itself. Now I want to change the font in all of these. Again, I'm trying to get to this point here, but I'm also just trying to show you some different things and different ways of doing things. I can change the font here by selecting all this, and I'm just going to go, in this case, I'm going to use Futura in here. Okay. And it does change the font for every cell that I've worked with here. Now I have some other options here as well. If I wanted to underline this, I could select this. Now there's no underlining or font styling, or not much down here. There's a few in this menu here. But if I wanted to, I could go up here to the top as well where it says font, format, and then font, and then go to bold. Now I don't know why exactly. It seems like they kind of hide things up there. I don't know why exactly. But I can do that. Again, I can select all of these if I wanted to, and go to font, and I'm going to turn the bold down for these just to kind of give them a little bit of zing, a little bit of standoutiveness. So there's that. And when it comes to fonts, and again, it's the same controls that we've been talking about here, but they are restricted to the text and the area inside the cells here instead of all the way across the page like we do with word processing documents. Now let's talk a little bit about the cells. Now really the only thing that we can control in the cell besides the text is the color and the kind of what's behind the cell. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. You can select the cells. So we're going to go ahead and select these bottom cells here. And we can go over here into the inspector window. You notice there's some controls for cell background. Now you have some different options. Simple color fill, a gradient fill, which gives you some different options here of mixing colors. You can put images in for the backgrounds. You simply just kind of upload an image that you want. They have some kind of cool textured ones you can use. A tinted image kind of gives you a little bit of some things that you can do to kind of add your own creative flair. So play around with that all you want. I'm just going to use just a simple color one today. So I'm going to go into color fill here and select the color that I want it to be in the background here. I'm trying to emulate as close as I can. Ooh, that's not it. These colors are really, really kind of bold in here. But I'm just going to go with this one for right now. And I'll probably change it here in a second. But that's the color that I can go with there. Now there's another place I can go to change color. All right, I'm going to do this for the top one here. And I'll probably go back and change the bottom there as well. But I'm going to go ahead and select these. And there's some controls up here for color under fill. I can go into here. And I can use, oops, I'm going to turn this off here a second. We're getting a little backed up over here. Let me try this again. Go to fill here, and you notice it'll pop up with a color menu that I can use as well here. So I'm going to go ahead and change that one. And this one, I don't really like this color here. And again, I'm supposed to be kind of emulating this. So I'm going to select these, and I'm pretty sure my color choice is under here as well. Let's see if we can get this close anyway. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. So they're in both spots anyway, and you can kind of play around. But they have some different options in both spots. You can kind of play around those as you will. Last thing I probably need to do is that with a light colored cell background, I need to color my text so that it shows through a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go up here and change that as well and kind of give it more of a darker color. So there's just some things that you can do as far as changing the fonts and changing the cells and kind of customizing them and being creative and making them your own here in your own style and making your table stand out some.